Welcome in, y'all. Going to be doing some locks for week 9 today. We went 4-1 with these last week, 13-4 on the season, and doing pretty good against the spread as well. If you want all my spread and game picks, that video is on my channel. But let's jump into these. I have 4 for you today. Only one against the normal spread. Got a bit weird with the other ones, doing some stuff I don't normally do, but we're going to give it a shot. But with this first one, we have Minnesota at Detroit. And it's going to be J.J. McCarthy playing for the first time since that letdown on Sunday night in week 2 against Atlanta. Going into a tough place to play. I know Detroit is still banged up a little bit on the defensive side, but man, this is one of those where I wonder why the number isn't bigger. Minnesota has a great roster. Don't get me wrong. I've been saying it all year long, but they're just not playing up to the potential. And then you throw McCarthy in there, who thus far, other than the fourth quarter against Chicago, hasn't really shown much. So I just don't have much faith in them right now to keep this thing competitive. And Detroit has a knack for blowing teams out in the dome there in Detroit. So I think the Lions minus 8.5 here is pretty safe in my eyes. I mean, there's never a 100% thing with spreads. They're supposed to be 50-50. But man, this just seems like one of those where the Lions just kind of have their way. I mean, Lions were playing really well against the Vikings back when they were playing at, contender status last year, and now they're kind of a step below that the Vikings are. So we'll see. But yeah, Lions minus 8.5 there. Feel fairly good about that. Then we're going to jump into our next one here. It's the Rams coming off a bye, hosting the Saints. Rams favored by full 14. That's been moving around. I've seen 13.5. I've seen all the way up to 15. But it is the rookie Tyler Shough, I think is how you say his last name, is going for the Saints. That's tough. I mean, there's never a good time to start a rookie on a really bad team, but this is a tough one. You're facing a good team on the road with a solid defense. They're coming out of a bye. It's just a tough spot. But in this one, the 14, 15, whatever the full spread is now, what I worry about is the Rams kind of letting up, at the half, because they have the Niners next week, a big division rematch. The Rams are a team that they could get up by 20, 24 and just kind of, play prevent, whatever. They don't care if the score ends up showing that they won by only like 8 or 10, if, that's just a garbage time last minute touchdown. So my pick for this game is the Rams first half minus 7.5, because I think they come out well. I really think all the starters are in, going hard. I think they can kind of suffocate that Saints offense. I think the Rams offense gets Puka back. I think they can get moving. So I think first half is the play here. And while I still have them covering the full spread in my picks video, I'm just not as certain about that as in this. So we'll see how this goes. Never done a first half before, but this seems like a spot the Rams do very well in that first half, coming out of the bye against a bad team and a rookie quarterback. But then we're going to turn our attention to the Chiefs and the Bills. What a great game this is going to be. Super pumped for it. It's always a fun time when these two heavyweights get together in the AFC. And, the winner itself, I think, is a coin flip. I think it goes either way. I think it comes down to a call, a turnover, something late. So that's not what the pick is about here. This pick, for this one, am actually going to go with the over 52.5. That's a lot of points, especially considering the fact that these two teams, I think, usually play a bit lower scoring games against each other. But this year, both offenses, I think they can get moving, and I think the Bills' defense might be a little vulnerable. I think this one could get a little loose here. I think it could get pretty high scoring. One of the more high scoring games we've seen between these two, especially the way that Chiefs offense has been moving this year compared to past years. So we'll see. But I just have a gut feeling about this one that we see some points today. And especially, when you get in the playoffs, sometimes you get better defense and stuff. But, regular season, I think 52.5 could go over. But I wouldn't blame you for being a bit skeptical here, because that's a pretty big number. That's a pretty big number for two teams that haven't been in a bunch of insane high-scoring games, So that's my pick there for that one. And then the last one I have here, it's Monday Night Football between the Cardinals and the Cowboys. This should be a fun one. And there's actually some stats I want to share with you going into this. So the Cowboys have played 3 home games so far this season. In those games, they've scored 40, 40, and 44 points. And, some people are trying to say, depending on who they played against, I don't really care. You're putting up 40 points at home per game through 3 games. I think that's a trend. And, I went up and looked at those teams they played against points per game. Giants, 27 points per game allowed, while they gave up 40. Washington, 25 points per game allowed, while they gave up 44. And the Packers, one of the best defenses in the league, give up 21 points per game. They gave up 40. So in this one, to me, I was looking it up. The team total for the Cowboys looks like it's over under 27.5 at home in this one. And look, I'm not saying they're going to score 40 at home every week, because they probably won't. They actually won't. That's a pretty safe prediction. But 27.5, I think they can get to that. Arizona, their defense is solid and it's played well, but it's not like an elite defense or anything. And, they played decent against the Colts and Packers, but they still gave up 31 and 27 points, which is above league average. So I don't think there's any reason Cowboys can't put up at least 4 touchdowns in this one. We'll see. Maybe it's bait. Maybe this is one that the final score is going to be like 20-17 for absolutely no reason. But with how bad the Cowboys' defense is and how good their offense is, it's just, especially in that dome, it just feels like it's built for high-scoring games. So that's my pick in that one. I feel pretty good about that one. I was surprised it was only 27.5. So hoping that hits. And, those are my 4 locks for the week. And, we went 4-1 last week. I'd take that record again. I'd take 3-1 this week. So we'll see how it turns out. Looking forward to a great weekend of football. Let me know what picks y'all have on the board. What are your locks and what do you disagree with here and why?